Hello everyone, this is my very first competitive talk on the channel, and I am pleased to report that I'm new to this community entirely. I've been playing Splatoon since around 4.2 and Splatoon 2, and I became involved in the competitive community on the early days of Splatoon 3. I hope you enjoy the video, subscribe for future content, and let's go. For the sploosh, you want to hold ZL for like the whole game, because the more you're submerged in ink, the easier it is to take down close opponents. With the insane mobility of the weapon paired with a curling bomb, this weapon can take flight so long that you're going to need a passport. With the destination being Britain, because you'll end up stabbing the enemy's backs at the end. Ultra Stamp, while being very vulnerable, gives you a great option against longer range threats and allows you to be a justice of the Supreme Court, sentencing every weapon, excluding a few shooters, flatlings, and dualies, to an 8.5 second respawn time. Overall, this weapon is great at stealth, while having the mobility to blend the enemy into a smoothie from behind. Due to its aggressive and stealthy playstyle, I would recommend a comeback Ninja Squid and Stealth Jump build to players looking to attempt this weapon. Cut. Next up we have the Neo Sploosh. Now, it's a lot like V-Sploosh. This weapon uses super glue on the ZL button also. While the kit is weaker, beacons can be used to help with the international migration crisis if you somehow lose all your development. You can also be an absolute butthead by placing beacons in the enemy spawn, giving you the jump on enemies from behind. Something the weapon is good at. The utility that Killer Whale provides on this is an entry tool through the front. This special is so annoying to enemies that some say it is a Splatoon version of Taylor Swift blaring out of these speakers. The distraction this provides is enough to get you in and pull off some quick picks from the front. This build is similar to the V-Sploosh. However, since you have beacons, I would use sub power-up, Ninja Squid, and Stealth Jump to flex this weapon's supportive / aggro playstyle. For Junior, I would first recommend players to stop spamming bombs for no reason. In almost every fight, you'll have no ink to even fight, and that's saying something considering there's an objective on the map that needs a team fight to be won. But really, the only time you should use your bomb is to poke long-range threats, charge your special, and initiate fights so you can actually help your team when it comes to the objective. I pretty much explained the utility of Splat Bomb, but let's cover Bubble. First of all, do not use it for yourself! This special is literally designed to hold key choke points, such as the middle of Undertow or a checkpoint in Rainmaker. This can actually contribute to your team and sometimes turn the game around. Due to its dependency of bombs, I would recommend this weapon's build to be LDE, Sub-Saver, and Stealth Jump. Custom Junior is a little bit different from V Junior because this weapon has a cheaper bomb that you can use more often. Most times you want to take fights in areas you already control because this really struggles with entry, especially when you're pushing solo. Wavebreaker can also help you maintain like areas you don't want to lose control, like the Splat Zone or each point on Rainmaker. And Torpedo can be used to distract enemy backlines or just other long threats you don't want to deal with. This is basically the same deal as V Junior, but this weapon has a built-in GPS with how much location orientation it has. The same build applies here with LDE, Sub-Saver, and Stealth Jump. For Splash, I want y'all to relieve childhood memories and pretend you're on a trampoline, because this is the only shooter, or the only full auto shooter with perfect jump accuracy, and is the most unpredictable mix-up for engaging the enemy. If they try to run away, introduce them to your best friend, the Burst Bomb. Finish the off quickly and closing the distance in fights. This weapon really thrived during crab meta because of how much synergy this weapon had with the kid. You could get the jump, literally. Oh, is that cringy? And then trap them in a puddle of burst bombing, basically just like death sentencing them to death row. The situations to use on crab for this weapon is like on retake when you want to take a pad for your team, mostly when you want to displace enemy back. The aggressive build I would package with this weapon is comeback, swim speed, and stealth jump to fuel its mobility and also fuel its aggressive style. For T-Tech's little sister, I mean Neo Splash, this is a more passive version of Vanilla Splash. This kit is prominent in teamfights, where it plays to area control with Suction Bombs and Triple X Strike. Suction Bomb is quick for short, kind of temporary control of an area. It gives you quick paint, lets you farm strikes more often. And though it is a clone of T-Tech, this still has the package to assist in fights and defend itself, but does not turn out to have an awesome block. Because, like, it's really good at displacing enemy backgrounds, like DC Sniper, E-Leader, and other Splatlings. So it's really helpful in team fights overall. The build I would recommend for this is basically the same as Vanilla Splash, but with LDE instead of Comeback. For Aerospray, I want everyone to prepare like you're playing a junior. This weapon, the only reason you would want to use this weapon is Fizzy Spam for like zones cheese on zones. It is a paint-focused gun with a painting sub and a special that is so useless it can do literally nothing but paint. If there's no turf up close, just spam Fizzies, but if there is, then you can just aim for the main gun. This is one of the most boring weapons in the game with the same build as Junior, I'd say, with LDE, Sub-Saber, and Stealth Jump. Another paint bottable weapon, the Gold Aerospray, with a kit that's so bad in fights that you basically can do nothing but paint. You're addicted to Booyah Spam, because that's a painting special that's farmable, with enough paint to completely shut down small house painting diseases. The only thing I can say for Garo is, at least use your Sprinkler to help Booyah up it. And I'd say the build for this is just pure special charge, because you're doing nothing but Booyah. Yeah, this definitely shut down some painting businesses in my local area. Splattershot is by far the most well-rounded shooter in the series, with good paint, fire rate, a bomb, because bombs are so busted right now. And don't even get me started on Zuka, the most BS special in the game because of the inconsistent and crazy wild hitbox. This special plays to mainly special spam, which is lame because this main weapon is so good it can be used for others playstyles, but unfortunately that's not what T-Tech granted it. Anyways, this weapon is a mix of aggro and special spam, so I would definitely put Comeback, Special Charge, and Stealth Jump on this weapon. With Neo Splash's older brother, I mean Tenakek, it's basically the same thing. It is a short-range shooter with a bomb and Tri-Strike. There's lore behind this. It's that they took DNA samples from T-Tag and put it in Neo Splash, just substituting the Splat Bomb for Suction Bomb because Nintendo was too freaking lazy to actually make Neo Splash a kit. There are two T-Tecs in the game and this is the better one by far. T-Tech has Strike, which is good for explosive backgrounds. Bombs are solid for getting people off of you, and it's the main weapon that makes this weapon shine. I would do the same build as V-Shot, but with Swim Speed substituting the Special Charge on this weapon. For 52, I'd say to remember you're not a carbon roller. You can't just go and chew people up because you have a threatening 2-shot. You have a wall that has some supportive purposes, and Whale provides chip damage for your team. The kit is also useful for keeping yourself alive, and yeah, Wall definitely keeps the Mexicans out. While Whale might not be the best synergy-wise, primary use is for entry and also chip damage, so you can get your team in and stall the objective. This kit is actually built supportively on an aggressive weapon, so I would recommend LDE, Swim Speed, and Stealth Jump to fuel this weapon's supportive and aggressive needs. You know how I said to remember you're not a roller when playing 52? Well, with 52 Deco, you are a roller. You have Curling Bomb. You have an excuse to run opening Gambit, and then just go work solo with this. It's basically just like you're killing everyone. You have a Curling Bomb to enhance your mobility, a 2-shot to kill like literally anything. And also, may I mention, even though Scream may not be the best special right now, it can mask your position from pesky backline. Gives you entry for your team, gives you a way to play around it and get some picks. This weapon is just like the devil. Grim Reaper. Whoever in your culture kills everyone. So yeah, I'd recommend opening Gambit, Ninja Squid, Stealth Jump to this weapon. When using NZAP, always remember to strafe. This weapon is so mobile out of ink and can go for crazy streaks just by painting alone. This weapon is so mobile that you can actually win a fight against almost any slow weapon. Paired with suction bombs and tactical, you are unfortunately sent to the field of cooler, where you work for quotas of getting like 7 more coolers a game for your team. And that's a shame, because this weapon can really thrive in that more aggressive kit, and I mean, Orange Zap kind of does that, but Super Chump isn't really great. It feels like every cooler weapon is a great main weapon, but people don't see it because all they think about is more cooler! In this case, I would recommend LDE for its ink efficiency in painting, Special Charge because everyone loves cooler, and Stealth Jump because it's not a backline. For Orange Zap, this weapon mostly provides entry for your team, with 170 chumps on a painting weapon, which is so BS, thanks Nintendo. You're basically providing chumps in almost every team fight where your team can get in, get some picks, and get the objective for you. Auto bombs can kind of help it with its solo fights. The main weapon did get a damage buff, so it's better at fighting now. But it's not the aggressive playstyle that people want it to have. And yeah, this build is similar to Grey Zap, but with comeback replacing LDE. Because yes, you are going to lose some fights. For Splattershot Pro players, you do not have to use your sub ever. Angle Shooter is the worst sub in the game by far. It has very limited utility. Point Sensor does its complete job way better. And this weapon already has huge ink efficiency problems. Yeah. I wasted like 25% of my tank there. This weapon plays really well off the chip damage since the recent 45 damage of shot buff, making players at 2 shots go to 90. And this weapon mostly relies on the crab tank it has. Like, the main weapon's okay, the sub weapon is absolute garbage. Crab was meta, so this is the only thing keeping this weapon alive, and even though you don't see it, it is still viable. And it doesn't really get much paths because it has bad ink efficiency. Also, like nowadays, crab is just able to be shredded, and like you can't defend yourself after a crab. Also, I have 2 subs of Intensify, so this doesn't look as perfect as it should. You do not have perfect jump accuracy considering how slow this weapon is. So yes, I would recommend LDE for the ink efficiency, Intensify action to help with the jump R&D, and Stealth Jump because it's not a backline. For Forge Pro, I would recommend a playstyle so passive that even Gandhi seems like he would murder someone. Like, you're basically playing like a Jet Sculpture, which is why this weapon really thrives in backless comps, especially if you're in solo play. You'll be a good jump point to like some more frontline players you have on your team, and it does play to its Weeabomb Bomb for some entry and aggressive streaks. However, since the gear dependency eats up any possible ink saver abilities this weapon needs, it unfortunately still needs LDE and Intensify. Oh yeah, and Stealth Jump. Sorry. So yeah, LDE, Intensify, and Stealth Jump on this weapon. With the 96 gal, I had a lot of high hopes for this weapon on release. I loved Ink Vacuum when I saw it in the trailer, and sue me, 96 Deco is my favorite weapon in Splatoon 2. I know. Unsubscribe. You should unsubscribe. No, I'm just kidding. This weapon uses more aggressive swimmer positions to substitute for its wall it had in previous games. I mean, 96 Deco does outclass this, but this still has some uses, because first of all, it does have back. Even though like it doesn't get it as much, you can still like choose the objective on Clement's Rainmaker by basically giving a 3-feet layer of plot armor to your units. And the build for this focuses on mobility and support, so I would recommend Swim Speed, Intensify action, and Stealth Jump on this. Unlike V96, this weapon, 96 Deco, has the wall to provide the necessary defense this weapon needs with the slow kill time and high damage it has. This weapon does see some success in team fights because you can't deal the Splatoon 1 meta. It has a wall to stay alive, and if I could get Kraken faster because it's 210p for some reason. Kraken to stay alive. The special is actually pretty good right now. It's invincible, has really good object damage. It's worse by the Splat Zone because it doesn't have the pain output of some other specials, and yeah, you basically have more Undying Totems than Queen Elizabeth II. This kit can put a lot of pressure on short-range weapons, excuse me, and it isn't scared to defend itself. So this build uses special power for the Kraken duration and swim speed and stealth jump to help with his mobility. The first thing I'd say about Jet Sculpture in this game is it's not the same turf slave it was in Splatoon 2. You do not farm a global special because it's VAC. VAC is meant to be used supportively. I think I've said this like, yeah, once already because of 96. But anyways, yes, you are going to be more prominent in teamfights. You're not just going to be painting the whole map for the entire match. And, like, I don't even want to talk about English Shooter. This weapon is hot garbage, so don't even attempt to use it because you're already just painting for back. This build consists of LDE for constant paint, Special Charge for constant ink backs, and Ink Saver to boost further ink efficiency. Using C-Jet can kind of be an excuse for you to paint the whole game, but please don't. Mist is supportive. Storm is now supportive since the recent healing buff. It's nowhere near global special, and yeah, it's supportive. While Mist can trap opponents and hold down key choke points, you can also use it to trap enemies, chip damage them, and have your teammate finish them off. This build pairs well with the same build as V-Jet, as it is a very similar supportive playstyle with LDE, Special Charge, and Ink Saver. Just wanted to pop Storm there because I forgot to. For Tickle Gun players, I mean Splattershot Nova, this weapon does no damage. The kit does not help this. I mean, Whale kind of does, but like, when are you actually going to kill someone? So this is mostly a supportive weapon. You're going to play around chip damage because it's a 5-shot with terrible RNG. Like, I'm literally playing a Leaf Blower right now, that's how bad it is. Sensor is good for marking opponents, helping your team, and then Whale provides chip damage and is good for fighting with your team. Yes, this is a team game, people. I'm talking to you, Dapple's Novo players. But yeah, due to the amount of assists this weapon gets, it's actually viable with, don't cancel me when I say this, but it is viable with opening Gambit. Also, Special Charge would work on this because you're trying to get Whales as much as possible, and Stealth Jump for this build. One of my friends likes to call this the ASS, but the actual word, I don't know why, but he's right. Ink Mines may combo with the main weapon for like some long range picks, but like, again, it's a tickle gun. You're just tickling people to death. And yes, you have to take risks with this kit, gambling that, like, it's like gambling thousands of dollars in Vegas basically. Because like, you're going out, setting an Ink Mine, and then just falling back so you'll be able to take prime range. Yes, this weapon can spam Inkjet, but like, against the comps right now, you're just gonna get shot out of the sky. Yeah, it is good for this place in the background, so yeah, it can help in some team fights. So this build is similar, but not really. So I would recommend LDE, Special Charge, and Stealth Jump for this one. For L3, this weapon plays heavily around chip damage due to its quality of not being able to one burst. I think this weapon's kind of funny because you can't hit someone with a curling off one burst, but like, when's that ever gonna happen? That's like once in a blue moon. There is no longer main power from this game, so this weapon sees very little use, although it does have crab tank to deal with long range options. I can get a crab. It's really, crab again is really useful for getting long range threats, fights you don't want to take, or just tank the objective, because it can do that pretty well. However, the main weapon is still kind of difficult. Once again, I gotta get rid of my 2 subs of Intensify to display this better, but like, no perfect jump RNG. Like, you have to jump to extend this weapon's kill streak, and it doesn't have that, so the build I would recommend is it's a mix of Comeback, Intensify, and Stealth Jump, yeah. Stealth Jump because it's not a backline. Comeback, Intensify, and Stealth Jump because it really needs the perfect jump accuracy to get its kills. For L3D, be prepared to throw a burst bomb in every fight. Unlike Curling Bomb, this sub actually provides the chip damage necessary to one-burst someone. However, this comes with the downside of Ultra Stamp. Ultra Stamp is really vulnerable right now, even though it does have insane power against non-shooters, non-splatlinks, and non-dualies. The Russian is really strong against these kinds of weapons. But like, the meta right now is 3 shooters basically on a team. Zap, Squeezer, and Splattershot. So yes, this is a very aggressive playstyle with burst bombs for constant chip damage, and Ultra Stamp for more aggressive pushes. Definitely a CQRSJ, and by that I mean come back, quick respawn, and stealth jump. For H3 players, get ready to install aimbot directly to your brain because this is the hardest one-shot to hit in the game. Nintendo has refused to buff this weapon, and since Splatoon 1 it has seen practically no use. Oh wait, yeah, L3D in Splatoon 2, that's my bad. Anyways, its kit only slightly helps it, like, you'll be able to see him better with sensor, but like, that's not doing any damage to help you with your one burst. So yeah, also it has cooler, but like zap out cost is pretty good because it's another better shooter with cooler. And yes, this is a supportive kit, however the main weapon would be really good if it had a more aggro. However, neither of the kits satisfy this. So, the build I would recommend is LDE for the paint, Special Charge to help with its cooler output, and Stealth Jump. With the same aim-oriented weapon of the H3, H3D has a really defensive kit. It is Splashball and Big Bubbler, easily the most defensive weapon in the game, to help it fight in hold down areas, although this is not as aggressive as I would like it to be. This weapon does struggle with ink efficiency because you'll be constantly throwing walls in every fight, trying not to get yourself to die, and you'll need a bubble in every other fight, because your kill time is butt cheeks. So yeah, LDE helps on this with the ink efficiency, and Special Charge would help with the bubbles, and Stealth Jump because it's not a backline. I bet every Squeezer player has played Ink Brush at least once, because they're both mash heavy. You're going to break your ZR button. And yes, it is the best main weapon in the game. It has a killing mode, it has a painting mode, it has a wall to defend itself, although that's not part of the main weapon. But still though, and also it has the BS special of Trizuke. You are killing at least one thing with this. So yeah. And this special is definitely one of the playstyles that thrives around, although Splattershot does thrive around spamming sequence better because it's 10 points cheaper and pays better. But like, you can just go for a quick pit with like the perfect jump accuracy, and you're not really dying that much because you have a wall. So the build I would recommend is swim speed, run speed, and stealth jump because there's very few weaknesses, and I would just play with the mobility oriented build. Foil Squeezer with the same broken main weapon as mentioned before. Yeah. This kit has a location-oriented playstyle, although not being directly for location. Like Autobomb, you'll be able to have a general area where people are with the large location radius. One of the weaknesses of the weapon, for the few it has, oh my god, this is so crazy. This solves the location issue, basically, and with the special weapon it has a very cool hot niche, or thermal ink. Because like, you can throw a screen and hit him once, you'll be able to see through the screen, and just be able to burst him right there and then. Backlines can't do anything about it because they can't see through it. So yeah, this build will be a little different with swim speed, thermal ink, and stealth jump, replacing the run speed, due to its dependency on Splatter Clutch. And that will be it for all the professional tips on every shooter in the game. That was a whole bunch of blabber, and if you guys like my thoughts on these weapon playstyles, I would love to see your subscription to the channel. And I will see you in the new season of Sizzle 2024 when we will have the best kits in the game. Thanks for watching.